The dream of every footballer is to play with your brother on the same team. In the history of football, only a handful of siblings have managed to achieve this at the highest level. Legends like Bobby and Jack Charlton helped England win their first ever World Cup trophy in 1966. Although Bobby Charlton is an icon in football, Jack Charlton was a legend on his own right. From the legendary the Boer Brothers to the Boateng and Bellingham Brothers, football has seen a lot of siblings playing for the biggest clubs of the most prestigious national teams. Alright, enough of the yapping and let's get into it. Starting at number 15. Hamid and Halil Altintop. Here is a name you haven't heard in a while. This time, we head over to Turkey to meet Hamid and Halil Altintop, the twins who brought Turkish football into the European spotlight in the 2000s. As both siblings developed their talents in the lower levels of German football, it wasn't long before they started living up to their surname, which translates as Golden Ball. Hamid was a better player who played as a midfielder for Schalke, Bayern Munich and Real Madrid. Oh, by the way, did you know that Hamid Altintop won the second ever Puskás Award? That's absolutely right. After Ronaldo won the inaugural edition in 2009, Hamid Altintop won in 2010, beating the likes of Messi and Neymar. His brother, Halil Altintop, was a reliable striker who also starred for Schalke and Eintracht Frankfurt. Their link-up was responsible for one of the Bundesliga's most unique partnerships. The two brothers played together at Schalke for several seasons, including the unforgettable 2006-2007 campaign. While Hamid had more appearances at top teams, Halil stayed back at Schalke before moving to Trabzonspor. Hamid would later retire in 2018, whilst Halil enjoyed short stints with Slavia Praha and back in Kaiserslautern before bringing down the curtain on his career later that year. Number 14. Marcus and Catherine Thuram. We turn our attention to the Thuram Brothers, who both play for Serie A rivals Inter Milan and Juventus. The Thuram name rings a bell, right? Well, that's because of their dad, Lilian Thuram, who was a legendary defender who helped France win the World Cup. So remember that iconic meme from the ref camp in Juventus' 4-3 win over Inter Milan this season? In that game, the Thuram brothers showed us what they are really about. Marcus had given Inter the lead at the 76th minute of that game to make the score 3-2. But in the 82nd minute, Catherine made it 3-3. And as the camera panned from Catherine's celebration to Marcus's agony, I wonder how proud your father must have felt in that moment. After the game, both siblings were seen laughing and jesting. Of course, the media was ready to jump on their backs. If both Thuram brothers can stay fit, I believe they will write their own stories and create a footballing legacy like their father, Lilian Thuram. Number 13. Jordan and Andre Ayew. Heading to Ghana right now. The Ayew brothers, Andre and Jordan, are practically football royalty. Their father, Abedi Pele Ayew, was one of Africa's greatest ever players. Andre Ayew has had a journey of a career, going from Marseille to Swansea, West Ham, Fenerbahce, Nottingham Forest and Le Havre. Jordan Ayew, on the other hand, has built a legacy for himself in England, especially at Crystal Palace, where he spent 6 years before moving to Leicester City. For the Palace faithful, he falls in the category of the streets won't forget. For Ghana, the Ayew brothers are national heroes. They were the first siblings to play for the Black Stars at multiple World Cups, that is in 2014 and 2022. At any time they play, they carry the hopes of their country on their backs. Although the Ayew brothers have both been criticized for not winning anything with their national team, they have both proven that the Ayew name still means something in African football. Number 12. Eden and Thorgan Hazard. Eden and Thorgan Hazard are two brothers who made their mark in European football, but in very different ways. Eden was the headline act, while Thorgan made sure the Hazard name stayed shining in Germany. Eden Hazard was a two-time Premier League winner with Chelsea. He was famously regarded as Chelsea's god among men. Just like his brother, Thorgan Hazard moved to Chelsea, but the move didn't work out like Eden's. So Thorgan had to carve out his own successful path at Borussia Mönchengladbach and later Borussia Dortmund. He may not have had Eden's flair, but he made up with consistency and versatility. The two played together for Belgium's national team and managed to finish third at the 2018 World Cup. Although they never won anything for Belgium, it is quite rare for two brothers to be part of the same golden generation. Number 11. Now, let's talk about the Bellingham Brothers. Jude and Jobe, two of England's brightest young stars. Of course, Jude Bellingham needs no introduction. He's a radio superstar for Real Madrid and England, even been mentioned in the Ballon d'Or talks. His jersey was retired at Birmingham when he was still 16. I mean, there's a reason Zinedine Zidane allowed him to pick his iconic number 5. Jobe, his younger brother, is rising fast. He was crucial in securing promotion for Sunderland in 2025.
Congratulations. What does it mean to be part of the Sunderland team that takes them back to the Premier League?
I said the other day, it means everything. Every single player who's come here has spoke about getting the club back to the Premier League, do you know what I mean? And so many have failed, but it's really, I take a lot of pride in saying that I was one of the players who helped this great club get back to where it belongs.
Now he's playing for Dortmund, showing flashes of the same technical ability and composure. While Jude is becoming his own man, Jobe seems to be suffering from his brother's success. After signing for Dortmund, Jobe mentioned that he wanted to become his own type of player and not live under his brother's shadow. Jude also said that Jobe would even be better than him one day. That sounds like cap so far, but we'll see how that goes. If Jobe is as good as Jude says he is, we will be watching both Bellinghams bossing the England midfield together in the near future. Number 10. Our next stop is Bilbao, where Iñaki and Nico Williams have become the heartbeat of Athletic Club. Iñaki Williams, the older brother, made history as the first black player to score for Athletic Bilbao and famously went 6 years without missing a single La Liga game. That is more than 250 consecutive appearances. But it got even better. Nico Williams, the younger brother, burst onto the scene not long after. He even proved to be way more talented than his already iconic brother. Although both brothers shared the pitch at Bilbao, they are rivals on the international stage. Iñaki represents Ghana, while Nico plays for Spain, where he won the 2024 Euros. Imagine the scenes that night at home when Iñaki and his mom see Nico lifting the trophy. Playing for different countries has not affected their relationship at all. Both siblings share a deep understanding of their mom's sacrifices and would do anything to stay together. When they're not tearing defenses apart in La Liga, you can catch them on social media showing off their local Ghanaian food with their mom.
Ubedi fufu. Ubedi fufu. Power.
Number 9. Up next is the Italian duo of Filippo and Simone Inzaghi. During their playing days, Simone had to live under the shadow of his brilliant brother. He was known for his goal-scoring ability. Filippo played for several Italian clubs and spent most notable spells of his club career with Juventus and AC Milan, where he won 2 Champions League titles, 3 Serie A titles, and the 2006 World Cup. He still holds the record for the most hat-tricks in Serie A. He has 10 hat-tricks. Yeah, 10! Simone Inzaghi won several trophies with Lazio, including the Scudetto in 2000. But in terms of innate ability, he was never in the same elite category as his older brother. Although Simone couldn't step out of his brother's shadow as a player, he created a legacy for himself as a manager. Even though Filippo began his career at the more established AC Milan in 2014, he didn't have the tactical swagger that Simone had. Unlike Filippo, Simone Inzaghi became a world-class coach at Lazio, where he won 2 Supercoppa Italiana before moving to Inter Milan. And how about this for sibling rivalry? Simone Inzaghi also put the final nail in the coffin to get his brother sacked from Bologna. At Inter Milan, Simone won 2 Supercoppa Italiana and Coppa Italia titles in 2 years. He also took Inter to their first UCL final in 13 years during the 2022-2023 season, which they eventually lost to Man City. Simone Inzaghi won the Serie A title with Inter in 2023-2024 season before bottling it on the final day to Napoli the following year. As much as he gets praise for that semi-final masterclass against Barcelona, he also deserves the blame for the shambolic 5-0 humiliation by PSG. That has to be the worst Champions League final performance ever. Number 8. When I mention Alcantara, your mind flashes to Thiago Alcantara, the midfield maestro at Barcelona and Bayern Munich. But did you know he has a brother who was a legit baller? That's right, Rafinha and Thiago Alcantara were born into football royalty. Their dad, Mazinho, was a World Cup winner with Brazil in 1994. Just like their dad, both siblings came through Barcelona's La Masia Academy. After a brief stint in Barcelona's first team, Thiago earned a move to Bayern Munich, where he truly established himself as a midfield maestro. He won 16 trophies in total in his time in Germany. After his move to Liverpool at the twilight of his career, Thiago was registered as one of the best midfielders in the game. However, injuries and inconsistencies made his career end quicker than many would have expected. Rafinha, on the other hand, did his best to fight for his place in Barcelona's first team, even though players like Neymar, Messi and Fabregas were all in the squad at that time. In 2011, Rafinha made his Barcelona debut. and by the end of the season, he played 39 games for the Catalan Giants. By 2013, the Blaugrana gave him a 3-year contract extension, but surprise surprise, they loaned him to fellow La Liga club Celta. Rafinha became the breakthrough player of the season, which convinced Luis Enrique to recall him to the Barca squad. But even after proving himself at Celta, appearances didn't come as expected at Barcelona. Just like his brother, Rafinha was too injury-prone. Between the end of the 2015 season and the start of the 2017-2018 season, Rafinha was injured twice, and he was out for a combined period of 14 months. In January 2018, he moved to Inter Milan on loan, and by November that same year, he was injured again. He then left Inter to join Celta on loan again, and by 2020, he was off to PSG. By this time, his time at PSG didn't last long as he returned to La Liga to play for Real Sociedad before finally leaving Europe for Al Arabi in Qatar in 2022. On the international stage, Thiago represented Spain, while Rafinha opted to represent Brazil. Number 7. Michael and Brian Laudrup. The Laudrup brothers were the iconic duo of both Danish and European football. While Michael was a household name in Europe during the 80s and 90s, Brian built a legacy for himself in the international team. Danish fans wouldn't forget Brian's heroics at Euro 1992, where he took the reins in the absence of his elder brother and led the team to glory in the final. Oh, by the way, Michael Laudrup refused to play for the team, while his brother Brian went to the Euros without him. Michael ended up watching the entire tournament on the beach and missed out on the greatest moments in Danish football history. Brian's career took off from Brøndby, where he won 2 Danish Cups. He later played in the Bundesliga and Serie A, where he won the Serie A and UCL titles in 1994 with AC Milan. He was also a vital part of the Rangers team that dominated the Scottish Premier Division in the 1990s. He had a brief stint at Chelsea, winning the UEFA Super Cup in 1998 before ending his career at Ajax in 2000. Michael, on the other hand, was an enigma in Europe, especially after registering himself as a key member of Johan Cruyff's dream team. During his time at Barcelona, he won 9 trophies before moving to arch-rivals Real Madrid, where he won his 5th league title. So we could say he did the Figo before Figo. He had stints at Juventus and Ajax, where he also won league titles. Michael Laudrup managed Swansea and helped them win the League Cup at Wembley. This was also Swansea's first major trophy in English football ever. At the 1994 Champions League final between Barcelona and AC Milan, fans hoped for a face-off between the two brothers. But the football world was denied this spectacle as both Fabio Capello and Johan Cruyff decided to leave them out of their respective squads due to forming quarters. Number 6. Calvin Prince and Jerome Boateng. Now, this one is pure drama. This duo was born to the same Ghanaian father but different mothers. Just like Iñaki and Nico Williams, both Boateng brothers represented different countries. Jerome represented Germany, while Calvin Prince chose Ghana, making them the first brothers ever to play against each other in the World Cup. Jerome went on to become a defensive rock for Bayern Munich, winning multiple Bundesliga titles and a Champions League title. By contrast, Calvin Prince became a maverick attacking midfielder, going from Portsmouth to AC Milan to Barcelona. While the both enjoyed success on the field, they didn't have a healthy relationship. Their relationship was damaged before the 2010 World Cup when Calvin Prince injured Germany captain Michael Ballack in the FA Cup final. Jerome was furious that the team's captain would miss the World Cup and subsequently blamed his brother and refused to speak to him before the tournament. What kind of brother goes against their own blood? Not like they're both the Pogbas or something. Later in 2021, Jerome Boateng was accused of assaulting his former partner, and Calvin Prince can be quoted as saying, "I want nothing to do with him." Despite their differences, both brothers are vocal about their Ghanaian and German heritage and have spoken out against racism in football.
Had you ever thought about doing it before?
When I was younger even, I was like ignoring it sometimes. I was like, no, I didn't see it, I didn't hear it. But now I got a little bit older, and within the age, now I have a little son, so I'm taking care of these things because I want my son to grow up in a nice place and not in a place where he have to be confronted with racism. I have to be honest, I even thought that, yeah, maybe it's never going to change. But now, the youngest example what we saw is like, I think they're doing it much better.
Number 5. Up next is Ronald and Aaron Koeman, a footballing family with nothing but a sheer obsession for the sport. Ronald Koeman might be one of the most hated coaches in modern football, but back in his playing days, he was an absolute stalwart. Both Koeman brothers are part of the golden age of Dutch football in the late 1980s and early 90s. Together, they lifted the Euro 1988 trophy with Netherlands. Interestingly, they faced each other at the 1988 Super Cup, which was between KV Mechelen and PSV Eindhoven, and with Mechelen winning 3-1 on aggregate. Ronald Koeman, of course, became a household name. He was a legendary defender for Barcelona's dream team, known for his thunderous free kicks and calmness under pressure. And yes, he was a goal-scoring defender, which was way ahead of his time. He scored the winning goal in the 1992 European Cup final to secure Barca's first ever intercontinental crown. Erwin Koeman, on the other hand, may not have had the same global fame, but he was an excellent midfielder in his own right. He played for clubs like Groningen and PSV Eindhoven. The brothers have shared the dugouts. Erwin has served as Ronald's assistant coach multiple times, including for the Dutch national team and at Everton and Southampton. Number 4. The next pair on our list is Theo and Lucas Hernandez. What are the odds of two brothers being world-class left-backs playing for the same country? The Hernandez brothers proved that left-back runs in their blood, I guess. Lucas, the older brother, made his name as a tough, no-nonsense defender at Atletico Madrid before moving to Bayern Munich and now PSG. Theo Hernandez, on the other hand, is the more attacking one, bombing down the left flank for AC Milan. Both siblings came through Atletico Madrid's academy, but the club was more impressed with Lucas. While Lucas rose through the ranks at Atletico, Theo caught the attention of Real Madrid before putting the world on notice with his performances for AC Milan. Although both siblings had different club allegiances, they were both part of the French squad that won the 2018 FIFA World Cup. Lucas played a more significant role in the tournament due to his established position in the squad. Theo was more of a backup. However, both siblings got to lift the World Cup, which is something very rare in football. Number 3. When it comes to football siblings who did everything together, few can touch the story of the identical twins, Frank and Ronald de Boer. By the time they joined Ajax's youth academy in 1984, the Boer brothers were already inseparable, not just as brothers, but as footballers who seemed to think with one mind. They grew up amongst names like Dennis Bergkamp, Clarence Seedorf, and Aga Davis, a golden generation molded by the philosophies of Johan Cruyff and later Louis van Gaal. It was under Van Gaal's Ajax in the mid-90s that the twins truly became legends after beating AC Milan in the 1995 Champions League final. For nearly a decade, Frank and Ronald de Boer were Ajax royalty. On the international stage, they became cornerstones of the Netherlands' golden era of the late 90s. They came agonizingly close to World Cup and Euro glory, but penalty heartbreak in 1998 and 2000 denied them any chance of winning with the national team. In the late 90s, there was a bit of controversy around the Boer Twins. They wanted to join Louis van Gaal at Barcelona, but Ajax said no since they had just signed 6 years contract. This contract dispute led to a lengthy court case, and eventually, Ajax reached an agreement for the twins to leave. But the move to Barca ended in disappointment for the siblings. Frank de Boer thrived at the Camp Nou, but Ronald struggled to find form. However, he managed to revive his career at Rangers, where he helped secure a domestic treble in 2003. Soon after, Frank joined his brother in Glasgow. Of course, the De Boers always end up together. Their story ended where it began, side by side. The twins wrapped up their careers in Qatar, winning the Emir of Qatar Cup in 2005 before retiring. Number 2. Kolo and Yaya Touré. Now let's talk about the two absolute legends from Côte d'Ivoire, Kolo and Yaya Touré. Kolo Touré, the older brother, was part of Arsenal's Invincibles. Later, he played for Manchester City and Liverpool. His younger brother, Yaya Touré, blossomed into a midfield powerhouse. After starring at Barcelona, he became a Manchester City legend, where he won 3 Premier League titles and 4 African Player of the Year awards. Yaya Touré is also famous for putting an African curse on Pep Guardiola. So basically, this curse kept Manchester City from winning the Champions League. That was until Haaland finally came and broke the curse. And guess what caused the beef with Guardiola? A birthday cake. Well, the curse has been broken, so I guess Yaya Touré finally got his cake. The chemistry and industry of both Kolo and Yaya Touré for the national team helped the side win AFCON in 2015. Together, they carried Ivorian football through its golden era. And even years later, they are still giving back to the game as coaches and mentors. Number 1. Gary and Phil Neville. Now, let's head to England, where football literally runs in the Neville DNA. Gary and Phil Neville are Manchester United legends and graduates of the famous class of '92. Gary was a cornerstone of United's defense for 2 decades, during which he won 8 Premier League titles and 2 Champions League trophies. Phil, the younger brother, was more of a utility player who could play anywhere across the defense or midfield. He also collected multiple league titles with United before moving to Everton, where he became the club captain. Gary and Phil Neville were the first siblings to represent England since Bobby and Jack Charlton.
I think we have a good understanding together since playing a lot together in training and in matches for the youth team, so I think that's why the boss played Gary on the right hand side and me on the right hand side as well. It's a good understanding and I think we're a good partnership.
They also went on to work together during Gary's iconic stint as the coach of Valencia. What's fun about the Nevilles is their personalities. Gary is famous for his blunt, no-nonsense punditry, while Phil has a calmer, coach-oriented approach. Gary Neville's face is everywhere on Sky Sports and The Overlap. Phil has become a mid-level coach. He has worked as a coach at Manchester United and also led the Lionesses to 4th place at the 2019 FIFA Women's World Cup. He has also coached Inter Miami long before Messi went there and was part of Canada's coaching staff in 2023. He is currently the head coach of the Portland Timbers in the MLS. And there you have it. 15 pairs of football siblings who gave us everything: goals, trophies, rivalries, and family drama. From the Laudrups to the Bellinghams and the Tourés to the Boers. So tell us, who is your favorite sibling duo in football history? Drop it in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe as we bring you more quality sports content and stories. You can also find us on other social media platforms through the links in the description. My name is Emmanuel from GCR. Thanks for watching.